He basically said, like, either take it off or go to ISD, and we said we'll take the ISD because we're not taking something off that has such a symbolic meaning.
Like, you guys are forcing them to miss out on basically valuable class time over a hair scarf. Is it really that serious? Is it really that bad? Is it really that distracting? Isn't it interesting how, like, being black is the only distracting thing to these people? Everything else is not distracting for them. It's really not. It's just being black. Anything black is distracting. What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. And today we are going to be talking about a school in Oklahoma who thinks it is okay to send kids to in-school suspension for wearing African head wraps. There's stories all over the news, okay? Past, present, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more future of kids being taken out of school unnecessarily over hair, okay? Whether it's their natural hair, their braids, their weaves, their head wraps, whatever the case may be. But as you guys can see, there's a common theme of it just being targeted at black people.
I was kind of shocked because, like, for years everyone's been able to wear braids.
Sophomore Maya Cook says Mystic Valley Regional Charter School officials first pulled her aside 2 weeks ago, just after she and her sister Deanna got their hair braided at a local salon.
The school basically said that they didn't want anything artificial or unnatural in their hair. We told them there's nothing wrong with their hair the way it is. Their hair is beautiful. There's no correcting that needs to be done.
Refusing to take out their braids, Maya and Deanna got daily detention, and last week, Cook says it got worse.
All the little black children were marched down for a hair inspection, whether they had braids or not, and asked, are those extensions?
I was in class, and then my head of house came in, and then she asked me if I can come out of class for a second. And then she told me that by Monday my hair has to be cut.
What way are you being punished?
Well, on Monday, and they took me out of class, and then they brought me into isolation.
Now, as you can see in this video, the child is very upset and distraught, and family members tell us school leaders implemented the policy over the summer. However, they say there was not a notice sent home to inform parents of the new hair policy. They say the young girl attended a teacher-parent meet and greet before school started, and nothing was said to her about her hair being against school policy.
They told my son he can't come to school because he got hair. Can I braid it up? Can I braid it up? Is that okay?
I don't think so. Where's Mrs. Book has to give that? It's in our.
That's crazy, man.
It's in our handbook. It has to be above the ears.
That's crazy. Oh, be calm. Stay calm.
I'm unique.
Vanessa Van Dyke's desire to be different has become an issue at her private school. Her look is being called a distraction. According to school administrators, the way she styles her hair is a violation of student conduct.
Now, before we get into all of this video is sponsored by Car Marshal. If you need a new car, a used car, or any car, make sure you check out Car Marshal today. All you gotta do is plug in your zip code and it matches you with the perfect car. And get this, they do the negotiating for you. You don't have to do anything for yourself. Make sure you check out Car Marshal today to get your best car. The name of this school is Byng High School, and it is, like I said, in Oklahoma. Someone who does go to this school actually follows me on YouTube and watches my videos. What's good, girl? Hey, girl, how you doing? Hey, Izzy, how you doing, sis? And she hit me up to talk about the story. Now, from what I know about Oklahoma,
you know, my pride and my heritage and where my ancestors come from.
For Delaney Seals, that's what her African head wrap represents. But when she tried to wear it to school at Byng High,
He told me to take it off, and what was that thing on my head? It seemed a little disrespectful.
School administrators telling her it was a dress code violation and a safety concern. The same thing happened to Avant Brown.
I was confused because, to me, like, the head wrap doesn't have the same meaning as just like a regular like baseball cap.
And Isabella Miller sharing that confusion. especially when she and Seals were hit with an ultimatum.
He basically said, like, either take it off or go to ISD, and we said we'll take the ISD because we're not taking something off that has such a symbolic meaning.
Oklahoma don't have too much colored folk. So, I mean, this is something that I definitely don't find surprising. However, what I find insane is the common theme of students, in particular students of color or black children, are being put out of schools and being discriminated against for things that just are normal to them in their everyday lives, okay? Minute things such as hairstyle, clothing choices, or different belief systems or behavioral issues, as they like to say. There's been many kids thrown in jail for absolutely no reason, just for, you know, talking back to a teacher or allegedly attacking a teacher. I mean, they definitely locked up a 6-year-old. Remember that nonsense?
So what do you mean she was arrested? Say there was an incident and she kicked somebody and she's being charged. No 6-year-old child should be able to tell somebody that they had handcuffs on them.
So it's very strange. I'm beginning to think what a lot of you have been saying in my comment section, that there is legitimate agenda, okay? The school to prison pipeline system, okay? I'm starting to believe it. At first I was like, nah, it can't be that. I think it's just blatant racism. But no, I think it's a real thing. The fact that they even have police officers in school now is a bit strange to me. Just because it's like, I don't think it's ever that extreme to throw a kid in jail unless they really out here mass shooting a damn school up, okay? That's the only way I think, you know, it makes sense. And I guess for those type of situations, it's great to have the police on call and on a campus. I completely understand that. However, it's a little strange how they're out here like throwing 6-year-olds in jail for throwing tantrums and doing all this extra stuff. Like, I just found out that my godson got held back a grade for misbehaving, and I'm just like, first of all, he doesn't misbehave. Second of all, even if he did misbehave, what does that have to do with his grade? Not understanding how his parents let that rock, but I need to go get to the bottom of that. But the point is, it's just strange to me. Like, I feel like school has changed a lot. Like, even when I left high school, I feel like in general, they weren't teaching a shit, okay? And I can only imagine. I feel like they were only teaching kids how to test. I felt like they were not teaching kids basic essentials in order for them to go on to college, let alone live life after high school if they don't go to college. I feel like a lot of kids in America are lacking basic necessities to survive after high school. They don't teach us shit, okay? They really don't. And if I felt like that back then and I graduated high school in 2013, it's now 2019. That was 6 years ago. I'm very sure it's gotten way worse because anytime I have a conversation with a lot of these high school kids, they don't know anything, and it's very annoying. It's worse than what it was before, so it's just like, not like y'all missed anything, okay? It's not like these kids missed anything by getting suspended anyway. It's not like they teach y'all shit, but it's just the principle of they got suspended for wearing African hair wraps. Would you tell a Jewish person to take off their kippah? Would you tell a Muslim person to take off their hijab? Would you tell a Sikh person to take off their turban? This is what I'm not understanding with these types of situations, okay? And don't even say it's different.
Oh, the hair wrap takes up most of their hair. Oh, it's distracting.
Oh my God, shut up. Has nothing to do with that, okay? The only difference between any of these situations is the fact that one is predominantly black, okay? At the end of the day, black woman wearing hair scarves has a lot to do with tradition and culture. And sometimes my hair ain't done and I want to wear a damn hair wrap, and that's okay. It's not the same equivalence of wearing a baseball cap in the building or putting on a beanie in church, okay? It's not the same significance. If you did not know, hair wrapping originated in sub-Saharan Africa. I think the original specific name is a duku. Please correct me down below. I don't know how to say it, but I actually learned this in college. I just can't remember how it's pronounced, but you get the point. I'm sure you guys have heard it called a hair scarf, a head scarf, a turban, a head tie, a head wrap, a head handkerchief, all of that. All the same thing in this case. And I'm sure many of you watching this have a hair scarf, have worn a hair scarf, or have a friend who has a hair scarf, or have a friend that ties their hair, whether it be an elder, a younger person, whatever the case may be. I've been seeing people tie their hair forever. I tie my hair once in a blue moon. It's not something that I do regularly, but when my hair is not done, or when I want to look cute, or when I think the hair tie is going to match me, I wear me a damn little hair wrap. And no one's ever had the damn nerve to say something to me about it. But this is just absolutely ridiculous. I'll be damned if I would have wore hair. No, actually, I did wear hair wraps to school a couple times. No one ever really said anything to me in high school. Now that I think about it, I did. And people used to be like, oh my God, are you converting to Muslim? And I'm like, no, I like hair wraps. I think they're pretty. I think it looks really good on a lot of women. So I just used to wear my hair wrap all the time. A lot of people do not know this. Back in the day, wearing a hair wrap was actually tied to enslavement. A lot of slave owners used to require that their slaves wear a hair wrap to signify their enslavement. In post-slavery days, women started wearing them as a badge of courage, as a badge of, yeah, I made it, and to signify where they were from in Africa, as well as to commemorate and signify the new African-American lifestyle. Now it's been a form of communal identity, you feel me? And for many people, it served as like a uniform of rebellion almost. It's kind of like, you know, how a lot of people have reclaimed, you know, words such as bitch or nigga. A lot of African-American women have reclaimed the head wrap that was once forced upon them to wear and made fun of. Now they have turned it into something positive for that. Wearing a hair wrap does not really belong to any culture, to be honest, okay? Many cultures wrap their hair. What is different is the way it is wrapped, okay? Now, a lot of women do wear this for cultural purposes. A lot of women wear this because their hair isn't done. A lot of people just wear them because they're cute, okay? Whether you're black, white, or not. I find it really, really strange that they wouldn't ask the students why they're wearing them if they don't understand it. I find it strange how they wouldn't sit there and try to like understand where the kids are coming from, understand the basis of them wearing the scarves, but instead they throw them in school suspension and try to force them to take it off. I find that really, really strange, very, very unnecessary. And it's just like you guys are forcing them to miss out on basically valuable class time over a hair scarf. Is it really that serious? Is it really that bad? Is it really that distracting? Isn't it interesting how like being black is the only distracting thing to these people? Everything else is not distracting for them. It's really not. It's just being black. Anything black is distracting. Your hair, distracting. Your voice, distracting. Your hair scarf, distracting. Everything is fucking distracting. Everything is a problem. Everything is bad. Anything we do is bad. Anything black is bad. And I feel like they try to start us off young with this, okay? The way we look, the way we talk, the way we dress. Everything is bad. At this point, I want to square up. Like, I want to square up because it's like, what you in school suspension for what? For what? I'll be damned if a school calls me talk about some, oh, my kid's in school suspension because they refuse to take off a hair scarf. At that point, we starting a protest, okay? Let my people go, okay? That's gonna be me. I ain't got time for it. Like, I will be in these streets because what is this nonsense? Honestly, I feel really bad for these kids and any other kids that this is happening to. This is not the first time this has happened. I looked it up and there's a few cases of this and it's just like, what in the world? Y'all telling all these other kids to stop wearing and doing all the things that are part of their culture as well, or is it just black kids? Because I feel like it's a lot of the times it's just black kids. There's a lot of kids getting discriminated against, whether they are mentally challenged or want to wear a headscarf, and it just doesn't make sense. Why don't you guys focus on education? Why don't you guys focus on more important things in life instead of trying to throw kids in school, out of school suspension for doing what you did not say? I feel like that's another thing. I feel like a lot of these schools feel some type of way because these kids are like rebelling in a sense. These kids are saying no to what it is that they want them to do. Like, do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, I feel like a lot of these school officials, you know, have like a God complex. And it's just like,
what? You said no to me? Suspended.
In general, I feel like a lot of white people and non-people of color just don't like when black people say no. They don't like when black people don't say what they want to say, do what they want to do, look the way they want them to look, act the way they want them to act. They want black people to be yes men all of the time. And that's part of the bigger issue here. They don't like when we do or don't do what they don't like. And when we do it or don't do it or whatever the case may be, all hell breaks loose. It doesn't make any sense to me just because it's like, bro, it's 2019. We ain't slaves no more. We ain't our ancestors. We gonna do what the hell it is that we want to do. Y'all need to keep fighting for this. You guys need to keep reaching out to people to talk about this. And I feel like you guys should definitely stand your ground with this one because it's just absolutely wrong. Also, for all the parents watching this, okay, whether your kid is in public school, private school, charter school, Catholic school, Christian school, whatever school your kid attends, make sure you read your child's manual, or I would say your child's like, what's that thing called? Dress code guide. Because you know what? This probably might have been a policy a very long time ago and they just never enforced it, okay? Whatever school you go to, whatever you do in life, okay, make sure you read terms and conditions and you read manuals because it's very, very important. Also, if you are a parent, make sure you attend your school's board meetings. If this was something new, this means that this was something that was just ruled, okay? The thing is, a lot of parents just enroll their kids into school, enroll their kids into activities, and they don't read the policies. And then when something like this happens, all hell breaks loose. Understand that when you put a kid into school and the policy's already set in place, there's nothing you can really do. And then understand that if you are not paying attention to your school's meetings, and when I mean meetings, I'm talking about the school board meetings that happen typically once a month in most districts, that's when all of this stuff is voted on, okay? That's when you bring your comments, questions, and concerns to the school to have things changed, to have things fixed, to have things mandated, taken away, whatever the case may be. That's when to do it. When a school has these meetings, no one's there, which a lot of times no one comes because no one really cares, no one knows about it, no one really, pays attention to it. This actually gives them the time and the green light to do what they want because there's no parents rallying against whatever it is that they are ruling on. Now, I know there's a lot of parents out there who may not speak English or just have work, but if that's the case, try to have someone else go, like an uncle, an aunt, an older sibling, because this is very, very important. A lot of people don't know this, but that really is where a lot of that stuff takes place. If you do not go to your kids' school board meetings, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna know when something like this is ruled on or ruled against or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm not talking about the PTO meetings, okay? I'm not talking about the parent-teacher stuff, no. I'm talking about school board of education district meetings. Also, make sure you're actually voting. Make sure you're actually voting for your board of education, okay? Make sure you're actually putting in that ballot to make sure that your kid is not discriminated against, okay? You're looking at Hillary Smith out there and she look like, she don't understand nothing in life. That's probably gonna be the person making your kid's school rules, okay? So make sure you're actually paying attention to those elections, even if you don't vote, so you know what the hell is coming. You have to be active in your kids' lives. In this case, most of the time, kids can't really do much, okay? I mean, y'all can keep wearing these headscarves. Y'all can keep talking about it, keep telling people to bring awareness. But what it really comes down to is, what are your parents doing? Are your parents active in the school's board meetings? Are your parents actively coming to the school to complain about this? Are your parents actually, putting forth the effort? Because at the end of the day, adults don't really give a shit for what kids have to do, what kids have to say. They really don't care about kids. They really don't. It's really sad. Like, I've literally witnessed teachers talk shit about kids. I've witnessed teachers curse kids out, all types of stuff, and it's because they don't respect y'all. That's really what it comes down to. Put a parent in front of that, it's like, I bet I gotta listen now because this is an adult, and that adult could whoop my ass. Shit, the kid could whoop my ass, but you get the point. The adult might whoop my ass. So they are more apt to listen to an adult than a child. So try to get adults involved. Try to get, local leaders and local businesses involved, because those are the people that are essentially voting. So they kind of have to listen. It affects them. When it affects their pockets and it affects their ballot, they listen. So yeah, that's definitely a tip for y'all. And y'all, I'm trying to fix this side of my hair. It's irritating me. It's not doing what it needs to do. But anyways, y'all get the point. Make sure y'all keep pushing for this. Do not stop. I hope it doesn't help any of y'all academically, because child, we all know schools could be on some petty shit and make you stay back and all this nonsense. Hope that doesn't happen to y'all. I hope everything works out. Let me know down in the comment section below, What do you think about this situation? Do you think that the school is right for not letting their students wear headscarves, or do you think it is completely discriminatory and wrong on all levels? Let me know, have you been through this? Have you been to this specific school? Do you go to a school that has this specific type of policy? Let me know. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.